formula. But before that, let me just highlight a few things why this can be quite important as a matter of spiritual values that we develop, as well as engaging in something that will be beneficial for the departed. Hence, we organize annual events or religious ceremonies like this. And in singular we call this, we sometimes use the word guna anusmarana. So guna anusmarana, to recall the goodness or the virtues of the departed, and we celebrate the life of the departed. So guna anusmarana. So it is 2 years that Dr. Metananda, Pali Metananda passed away, and today is the 2nd anniversary. So that's the key intention, to bless him wherever he is with kind and grateful gratitude that we develop. So dana literally means to give, and we do share a lot with people. Sometimes it can be in a low level sharing because you don't need them. When you go to a charity shop, you can see event because you don't need them. Now, how much would you categorize as done? I remember when I was in Kingsford Temple, we collected items to send to Sri Lanka in the tsunami time. When I was about to open the door, a pile of black bags the next morning. We had to call the territorial army to help us, and half of them was not usable. So people just cleared up their closets. So that is also giving, but it doesn't conform to perhaps when we think of the charitable generosity that we are talking about here. So developing a sense of generosity. So we share food with family, friends, through a party. That is also really good. It is also giving. You're not expecting anything in return, hopefully not. Yeah? But sometimes when we look deep into the Dhamma, the moment you start crossing off names who not invite, then again that becomes quite limited, reserved sharing. You're doing with reservations. Not this time, maybe next time. Definitely this person, because I got so much gifts from this person. So we have a bit of a self-centered thinking gradually developing within, although when we think of the word generosity here. So therefore, when we think of a group or someone without reservations, and for Buddhist, it can only be the triple gem. So we then use the word offering for that reason. So there are 2 words you might have heard in the single Varna. Anugraha Buddhi means the treatment that you do, whereas Puja Buddhi is the sense of offering that you develop deep within, without reservations. It's an open heart sharing. Okay? And therefore, in programs like this, it would be an ideal moment to develop your key base of practice, which will be Saddha. You have to take this moment to develop your faith. Now, faith here is not in terms of devotion or belief. Faith here is, the word Saddha is used with the connotation of trust and confidence. So you trust the triple gem as such that they are the guide for your spiritual advancement. So we don't actually sway in our faith, our trust, and take and do things that are not actually perhaps sensible. So we try to make it all meaningful. I trust my car, so I'm very happily enjoying the drive. I trust the bus driver, so I enjoy the bus journey. Otherwise, I'll get off the next stop. Okay? So you trust the Buddha as a guide, as a teacher, and that is why we say Namo Tassa. So you have a bit of namati, or you have a bit of like you bow down, you pay homage. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. You trust so much so that the Buddha becomes your refuge. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. And that refuge is that you trust, you have confidence in the safety net context. So we develop that. Then you have to trust your own actions as well. Now, in these actions, if you don't trust and develop the understanding of Kamma and Vipaka, we will not benefit as much as what we are trying to do. Otherwise, it becomes Silapata Paramasa. So it becomes a tick box. So this shouldn't be a tick box activity. This is not a tick box activity. It is the trust that you develop by engaging with great confidence, by engaging with true devotion in such a way that you can actually see your actions are going to have a great benefit internally and externally. So internally will be your spiritual values, external will be for the departed in this context. And we have that telepathic energy that we develop and do such a blessing. The blessing that you develop within your hearts can come from that purity of engagement, the purity of engagement. So through that we develop a sense of appreciation. We develop that sense of appreciation in not just your true act in sharing. We develop a true sense of release. A release in such a way that we try to bring in the understanding of, if I put in general terms, it's the concept of giving up. And in the path of the Buddha, or in the path of Nibbana Gamini, the practice is to learn how to renounce and to give up. So it starts from the charitable moment. When you see A to B, the journey of something going from A to B, that has to be intuitively seen, and it is that release that we are trying to engage in as such. So we make an offering, and it actually, you can see it physically. Now that is why, even if you want to become enlightened, the first thing you have to master is Dana Paramita. You can't do that, then others are going to be quite a struggle. You have to, so Dana Paramita, no? And there are 10 paramitas, and the first one is to learn how to release. And then Sila Paramita also is another release, not in materialistic things, but in terms of release of your physical needs, physical wants. That is what Sila Paramita is. You like certain things, but you don't steal. You might dislike, but you don't engage in something that hurts someone. Okay, so from Dana Paramita, we go to Sila Paramita, we go to Nekkhamma Paramita, release from the mind. So physically you can see A to B. When it comes to emotions and your ideas, can you see from A to B? You can't. So you have to actually imagine that existence of pain, release of pain, existence of greed, release of greed. So you can actually see that there is a moment of something that is controlling you, whether it is the 4 things I normally always refer to: likes, dislikes, fear, ignorance. They are the puppeteering thoughts that come into our heads. And if you are aware, mindful, then you can see the existence of like and the non-existence of like. You have released yourself from A to B, if you make those indexical moments. So that is the Chaga Sampada we develop. Saddha Sampada, Sila Sampada, Chaga Sampada, and the Nekkhamma Paramita, where you are released from the mind. And you have to release yourself like that, and therefore then it becomes a true generous practice. Then you have mastered the whole moment of giving or release, and we call either giving up, let it go, letting go. Those are the concepts that we actually hear as phrases, but the true meaning comes from there, that you learn how to release yourself. So when we engage in practices as such here, that we slowly start realizing the fact that we are sometimes always puppeteered, and therefore if we can develop that tiny moment of self-less moment, because all the time it is self-centered. From the time you wake up to the time you sleep, it is the self-centered habitual pattern. Now we are just puppeteered into this defilement, or into this moment of negativity through those patterns, and therefore when we are looking like that, we might rarely learn how to appreciate, because we're always seeing in the way you want to see. We're always wanting in the way you want to. And this is what becomes the cause of suffering, because you are not happy with what's actually existing. Yampi changalapati kampi dukkam, you are not happy with what's happening, what's there, whether it's pain, whether it is a situation, the weather, the traffic, you're not happy. And you're always emphasizing your judgments. You're emphasizing and highlighting your needs. And this is what happens every moment in our life, whether it's water, it's too hot, it's too cold, whether it's too much this, too much that. We're always highlighting our judgments. And this is what actually leads to that moments of dissatisfaction. And therefore the Buddha says, if you can pause that, moment, then that true happiness lies there. And even in terms of appreciation, are we appreciating self-centeredly? When you say thank you, is it because you actually appreciate what you got? Or you appreciate the kindness? Go back when you received the best of all the gifts. Did you appreciate because you liked the gift? Or did you appreciate the kindness? Children, when they get what they want, 10 times they'll say thank you. Until it breaks, they're so grateful. Best mommy, best daddy. So they're valuing the gift, not the intention. Because if they got what they don't want or what they have already, thank you. So in terms of appreciation would be like, can you get yourself out of that? If A was the comfort zone of your judgments, can you get out of it and appreciate the true kindness of someone? And that is what true gratitude is, not a self-centered gratitude. And now we're developing that sense. Through the practice of charitable or generosity, we are step-by-step practicing a deep spiritual value, which is learning how to appreciate someone truly as a virtuous person, Dr. Palimita. You can only be truly grateful when you see not what you got, but actually the kindness of someone. And this is where we as spiritual friends, as family friends, we have to see that nature in the person to feel grateful for. Not because you received a gift, or not because you had. It is actually the kindness that we can actually truly be thankful for, to be appreciative of. That is called generous gratitude, and that is only possible when you truly see how you have connected with the person at the given moment. And always use examples such as the flame. If the flame is the happiness or your good situation now, there must be some contributing factors. And if we have to take the factors of Dr. Mekhananda, what were there for the flame to exist? Oxygen, wax, wick, a container, heat. Take one out, the flame won't exist. So we can even take gratitude from that angle. Two angles. One is because of that this shouldn't have been. Other one is truly appreciating the person's kindness and as a person who the person is, not the way you actually benefit from him. And therefore, when we learn how to do that, that is the altruistic compassion and the moment of blessing that we can develop through that. That's why it is a blessing, as it says in the Mangala Sutta. Garocha Nivatocha Santuticha Katanyuta. Something that has been done, you are knowing or you are the knower of. And that is why the whole line talks about appreciation, not highlighting your judgments, but be humbly actually respect the person. Nivatocha, humbleness. Santuti, you're not expecting anything in return, but you're happy the way things are. And therefore, Garavocha, appreciation. And this is what the whole spiritual value that we develop in such program. It should be a time to develop that value, little step by step, step by step. And therefore, we take this moment to think gratefully all the good things, all the good. Whether if you share even like one word of kindness with Dr. Mithan, and bring that to your thoughts, and make this a very good moment to bless him. If Dr. Mithan is in need of some spiritual support, wherever he may be, may he receive our blessings gratefully. May he receive our kindness as a source of happiness. As a source of happiness. We use the word sugati in Buddhism. That means the lives or the planes of existence be fulfilled with happiness, fulfilled with comfort. So that kind of intention is what we develop through this letting go concept that we develop, that we are wholeheartedly wishing him all the very best wherever he may be. And we also remembering our departed parents and any relatives who may be in need of some spiritual support. And also Naik Hambu, Naik Swami Mohanse is ill, so we will make this a moment to bless him for his good health. Bandul Hebawa Sampianan, Kit Helta Manian, Indrani, Indru Mahatme, and many more, and all who may they be blessed with good health and happiness throughout. And we are also blessing Sirivardhan Manian, Dharmadasa Wanasundara Pianan, and many more. Let's recall our parents, if they are alive, may they be blessed with good health and may they have long life. And may the compassion of the Buddha be upon us for our good health and happiness and well-being. So with such intention, let us dedicate this food to the Mahasangha. So all the three represented here. We represent the chain of monks from the Buddhist time. And when we say Mahasangha, it is that altruistic, non-judgmental look that we have, no matter where they are from, no matter who they are, they're all representing the practice of the Buddha and the disciples of the Buddha. So the altruistic, unreserved offering becomes as such that if three monks miraculously appear here, you're not going to say this is not for them. Yeah. So that is the concept we have. Nisarnati has a concept that puja buddhing. So may the food that you have prepared be dedicated to the Mahasangha. May all merit accumulated be conducive for the well-being of who we remember today, Dr. Pali Mektananda. May he receive our blessings and make his life happy and peaceful wherever he may be. And eventually may he attain the blissful state of Nibbana through the righteous aspiratory path he has aspired for. With such great kindness, please repeat the formula that I say, which means may the food be offered to the Mahasangha, all merit be accumulated, be for the departed. So please repeat after me. Kalakatanam Nonyati Nam Punyas